All right, everybody, good morning. Welcome to the morning message. Welcome to May 18th. How are you? Later today, you're going to see Aries, Leo, Sag, weekly, not weekly, it's the end of May reading. You're going to see that today. Tomorrow, you'll see the water readings, and then Thursday, you'll see the earth readings. I put up the air readings yesterday, so these are the end of May readings. This is not part of Patreon. This is something that is separate. I will be doing the monthly readings next week, each zodiac sign. So that since we're moving away from Patreon, check your local listings. Okay, we're doing something a little bit different. The monthly readings will still be included in a subscription, a transition subscription, and that's going to be found on Ribbon. So if you are a Patreon person, go to Patreon because we're communicating with you guys in there. If you're not part of the subscription, we'll be communicating more about it as we get into June, so you can avail yourself of that if you like these morning messages. All right, so feel free to swap around the energies. As always, I could be talking to a cross watcher, but since I'm not really focusing on any particular zodiac sign, it's really about the title, okay? They're always about the title. It blows my mind. They're always about the title, regardless of the sign. So check that out. All right, let's see here where we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Solitude, embracing enthusiasm, finding sanctuary. Oh, thank goodness. So this does feel a little bit joyful. It's not like I'm trying to get away from anything, or I'm trying to barricade myself in or anything like that. This is really something that's like I'm genuinely enjoying my time alone. I really like it. It's very recharging my batteries. It's really recharging my batteries. I'm really enjoying it, and it's legit. It's legit. You're not trying to, you're not trying to fool anybody. You could be moving away from something, and there's a person who is convinced it's like a manipulation. It's really not. Okay, it's really not. You could be dealing with someone who's doing this, and I'm here to tell you there's no manipulation here, really. King of Swords, World, Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on from something. Queen of Pentacles. Going to do better now. All right, going to take better care of yourself. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Six of Cups, Tower, Knight of Swords, Hierophant. Okay, so right off the bat here, I'm feeling very much like you've ended some kind of cycle. You're really seeing the future and where you want to go. You're seeing what you want to do. And one of the things you want to improve upon is taking better care of yourself, whatever that means to you. Whether it means your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your surroundings, your environment, your home. All right, whatever it means for you, I feel like this is something that is now very important to you. It's become important to you. You could have had some kind of a little scare, some kind of health scare, some kind of thing that a little bit shook you, okay? And I don't feel like, I'm going to clarify the Tower here, but I feel like you got some kind of help. Charlie's chewing. I feel like you got some kind of help here. And that's a really good thing. It's great. It's a great thing to ask for help. Right, that's better. Outside with your stick. So I feel like you've gotten some help. You've moved on to a better place here. I feel like you're doing something good. Something shook you here a little bit. Something that has been going on for a long time. I feel like you have ended some kind of cycle that wasn't really healthy for you. Okay, it really shook you. And so there's this new fresh energy. Page of Cups and Six of Cups here. So this Tower happened, and then Knight of Swords and Hierophant. So let me clarify a little bit about this Tower. Clarify the Tower for me, please. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Page of Swords, Sun. Okay, Leo energy here. I feel like you might have been doing some good things for yourself, like moving away from patterns that are difficult, that are you or way of doing things that you thought was good for you but wasn't really healthy. So you've moved away from that. I do feel like something that shook you might be a message from somebody. A Page of Cups, Page of Swords here, somebody coming back around to you. So you could have moved away from a relationship or from a lifestyle that wasn't good long term. Okay, there was something about it. And I feel like because you did that, the Saturn retrograde is about karmic balancing, or rebalancing rather. Okay, everything's with retrogrades, rebalancing. And I feel like somebody is sending a message here to you out of the blue. Out of the blue. All of a sudden they're going to tell you that they want commitment with you or something like that. I feel like you moved away from somebody because you're like, this is never going to work. I'm never going to get any commitment from this person. I'm never going to be, it's never going to be a thing. All right. So I'm just going to be done with this. This is stupid. I don't know why I'm dealing with this. I'm just going to move away from it. And you do that. And I feel like there is an apology here. Okay. Clarify the Page of Cups for me. Nine of Pentacles, Empress, Four of Swords, Ten of Cups. I feel like this person finally realizes that you're their person after you move away from them. All right. And I almost feel like this clarity that you've had, you've invested a lot of time and effort in this thing, in this relationship, and I just feel like you made a decision. I don't feel like there was like a precipitating event or anything. I just feel like you made a decision. This is it. This is hard for me. This is not good for me. This is something that I need to see more clearly about. I need to see what I'm doing. Right? Okay. This is not what I want. Okay. So now I'm going to rebalance my life. And Nine of Cups in reverse, Justice, Three of Wands. Just turning your back on something. This is not what I want. So you could be in a long-term third-party situation. And for those of you who watch my channel regularly, thank you. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. Ta-da! But for those of you who watch my channel a lot of times when I talk about third-party situations, because there's a 3 here, I'm trying to draw your attention to the idea that a lot of things can be third-party. It's something that is interfering in a happy progression of a relationship or a life. So if there's something going on that is interfering with your happiness, it could be addictions, it could be your career, the chosen career you have, maybe it's not appropriate for you, maybe it's not working for you. I was talking with someone the other day when I was working in TV news. I knew, there's a lot of reasons for me not to do it anymore. But one of the reasons was I kept getting jobs in bigger and bigger cities, which is how it works. And the news happens and you gotta be there. You can't go home to the dog. And I was like, I'm not doing that. All right. My animals are one of the most important things to me, many times the most important thing to me. And that's my priority. And now other people may be like, you're out of your mind, sister. You don't want to work in network TV because you have a dog. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. So, yeah. And there's something like that. Like you may have been doing some kind of lifestyle and you realize the thing you're doing is unhealthy for you. It just doesn't work with who you are or your priorities or what you're doing. So I feel like, please clarify 6 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands. For some of you, this could also be a family member. Okay, this could also be a family member. It could be your family in general. You've decided that the family, how it works or how they treat you or something like that was really unhealthy. So you felt manipulated by them. You felt hemmed in by them. You felt like you had no choice. And I feel like some of you might be moving away. This is somebody or something that's been in your life for a really long time. You just thought it was normal. You just thought this was okay for you until it wasn't. And one day it wasn't okay. And so now you're moving away. So I feel like some of you could get a message out of the blue about a new way of doing it. Okay, so you could have said to somebody, this could be, like your siblings or your parents or something, like, this is not working for me. This is toxic. I got to move away from this. And it's almost like the family doesn't realize what they're doing. Okay, I mean, close one eye, like maybe, but you're like, now you're embracing enthusiasm, you're finding your sanctuary, solitude. It's fine with me that you're not in my life anymore. 100% fine. And I feel like some of you, they may come back around and be like, I didn't realize what was going on here. Somebody who's healthy, somebody who is capable of change, somebody who is capable of learning. And they're just like, oh, wow. Until you said it, until you stood up for yourself, until you did that. I'm sorry, I just didn't realize. I didn't realize I was doing that. I didn't realize that this was so unhealthy for you. Because for somebody else, it might not be unhealthy. We're not talking about really toxic patterns. We're talking about something that is just out of balance, or somebody that is, somebody who has let's say this is a good example, I think. Somebody who has a really sarcastic sense of humor, and they're constantly making fun of you. And you've never really stood up and said, hey, you know what? That kind of hurts my feelings. I'd wish you stopped that. Because that's just how our family is. That's how we kid because we love, right? Like, you've heard those things, but you know what? There's no such thing as humor that doesn't have a kernel of truth to it. So it does hurt people's feelings if there's some kind of power game going on where they're making fun of you to keep themselves in power. They may not realize it. That's another matter, okay? But I feel like you're done making excuses for somebody, and you've just decided that it's time to move on from it. Now, a couple things could happen here. Like, you get much healthier because you did this, okay? And so what happens is that kind of shook you to do that. That felt big to do it. But now there's space. Now there's space in your life. Now there's truth. There's authenticity behind what you're saying. I feel like somebody, they might come back around and be like, I didn't realize, okay? They may come back, or like suddenly, kind of out of the blue, a little message, or somebody steps into the void here that is now in alignment, because you've said, remember we talked about manifesting, you have said, not okay. Third party, not okay. Addictions, not okay. You've said it out loud, and you've put your money where your mouth is. You've moved away from it. You've become, solitude, finding sanctuary. And now things can change. But you realize, like, if you stay at it, if you stay trying to change another person, a lot of times they dig in. A lot of times they get resistant to that, because you really can't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, okay? You can't affect that behavior in the way you've been doing it all this time. So if you've been hanging out with somebody who's married and you want to have a relationship with them, and someone says to you, well, walk away from that, and you're like, I can't, what if they change their mind or whatever? I guarantee you, standing there and staying in that will only validate the current structure. So if you are, and only when you get to the point of, I don't give a fuck anymore, will anything change. And this is important. You're not doing it, manipulation, you're not doing it to get them to change. You're not. You're done with that. You're legit done. And so you move on, and you're like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do something that's good for me. I'm going to move on from this connection. It's really been toxic for me. So things can change now because people can make a choice. Now, that person or that situation may never change, but you don't care anymore. That's the key, that's the kernel of truth in this piece, which is releasing attachment to the need for that to change. That's how you change. That is exactly how you change. You release attachment to another person doing anything differently. And so you're showing the universe that you're not going to be cool with this. You're no longer in alignment with that. So things can change. And what can happen is someone can step into the void then. It may not be that person. But when you really get to the moment of releasing and detaching, and I'm done with years and years of abuse, I'm done with years and years of standing in a third party, I'm done with years and years of eating disorder, I'm done with years and years. Only then, because the only person you can change is yourself. So you take responsibility for that and you're like, yes, you know what? I've been standing in this. I've been enabling this behavior. I've been doing this. I'm going to take 100% responsibility for myself and step out of it. And you know what? Then the world changes. Step into the void. Okay? So there's some good stuff here changing. So let's see where we go. I do see Taurus and Leo. Taurus, Leo, Libra. Libra up here. Taurus, Leo, Libra. Right? Okay, I will look at Taurus, Leo, Libra. If you're dealing with any of those signs, I will look at them in the extended. And since we're still on Patreon with this, if you're on Patreon, the rest of the reading starts right now. Otherwise, there's a link below if you want to catch it.